So, Wellniacs, it's your two favorite besties,
Jay Wright
and the Nubian Bad Goddess. And today we're bringing to you a brand new episode and special guest, Joel Cook.
Yeah.
And you guys are watching BlackVomit.
Jacob, bro.
So, Wellniacs, it's your two favorite besties,
Jay Wright
and the Nubian Bad Goddess. Here with another special guest, Joel Cook. And you guys are watching
BlackVomit.
Welcome, new and old Vomiacs. We are very excited to present to you another special episode straight from the BlackVomit Studios, aka my new house.
Yeah.
And
Humble
we have,
abode.
what'd you say?
Our humble abode.
Humble abode, not too humble. Don't look anywhere else but here. Right here in North Carolina. And we have a very special guest.
Special. We have to my left a Fayetteville State alumni. Yes. Broncos attitude check.
Bronco pride.
Yes, indeed. We have ourselves here a writer, a narrator, a great debater, a military intelligence historian. Did I say that properly?
Yeah, I was a historian and an intelligence major at
Mhm.
Fayetteville State, and then I do like historical research about military things now.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to get into all that. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes. But he is also, as we stated, recently discovered a 2025 Nashville Mid-South Emmy Award recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up again for Mr. Joel Cook. Yeah. That should show us out. Just a little bit, man.
I mean, I'm chilling.
Hey.
So do we. We
That's
love that.
man, those who win usually do. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Emmy recipient, like
It's big.
let's just chime in
Very
on that
good.
a little bit. Like how does that feel?
I haven't really processed it yet, man.
Mhm.
You know, it's like it was announced on the 17th. It's my dad's birthday, so I was focused on that. You know, and I was like, my dad's 78th birthday, so I was really locked in on that.
Mhm.
And then I was standing in my yard, and the producer for Rouge History, which is a different series that I mostly work on,
Right.
texted me and was like, "Hey, congrats on the Emmy," and I was like,
So
What are you talking about?
What?
I went and checked, and it's like, oh yeah, Emmy recipient Joel Cook, writer and narrator, and I was like, oh,
Crazy.
Wow.
And then I was out
Crazy.
there with my niece, and I was like, hey, go tell grandma I just won an Emmy.
You gonna stop during one
So-
pose?
Yeah, go tell everybody in the house I just won an Emmy. I'm gonna be out here for a while.
That is
I bet you they were so proud of you though.
Yeah, they were. They were like super. My parents have always been really supportive of the stuff that I do, and so like they were. It's rewarding for me, but it's rewarding because it's for them.
Mhm.
All the stuff that I do is really for my parents,
The
and
legacy.
my family. So
Mhm.
yeah,
That
so
is-
it was big.
that is amazing.
Yeah, especially as a writer, because the star of the artist job.
Right.
You did what Michael B. Jordan and Angela
He
Bassett still can't do.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
It's. I mean, hopefully I'll get a national Emmy at some point,
Right.
or something. But even starting out with just like a regional
Mhm.
award, like that's like.
It's-
You celebrate the
It's-
small.
It's a big step.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
celebrate every win.
yeah,
Yeah.
there are no small ones. They're
And I did
all
ask. I was like, hey, I was like talking to the director for Rouge History, and I was like, hey, like, do I say Mid-South Emmy or do I just say Emmy? Like, how does what's the language on that?
6'7".
How does that work?
6'7".
She was like, oh, you can just say Emmy. And I was
Yes, sir.
Without really saying
Go, 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 go.
Because I'm gonna do it anyway, so I just want to make sure I'm on camera. Man, that's so. I mean, going into that project, is that even a thought?
No, I mean, so we talk about it with Rouge History, for example. We talked about my first season. We won a Telly Award for I think it was like the best web series episode or something like that.
Wow.
We won a Telly Award, And so I hadn't even thought that we were applying for awards.
Right.
You know, they just told me, hey, we submitted this for an award after the season was over. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then the second season, we talked a little bit about maybe shooting for a daytime Emmy, like a national daytime Emmy. So the way that process works is that you film your seasons, you take a look at like your metrics for each episode, and then you decide, I think this one has a chance. Because you have to pay to put yourself into these competitions.
Right.
Like that.
So you're saying you have to plan for it?
Yeah, you plan for a while.
It's like a campaign.
No,
like,
it's a
literally.
campaign for sure. Yeah, and you have to plan. You have to take a look at when you're picking topics. Even you're like, okay, this topic could pop off and need that episode. You know, I had that this season where I was like, we're still thinking about the daytime Emmy for season 3 of Rouge History. So which episodes do I think I can sell the best that'll pop off in that way so that we can get the cachet we need to submit it, you know? So it's a whole thing. But like when you're coming into a season, I wouldn't say that I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about getting the information out, getting the message out.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's a lot. I never knew. I never knew you had to like plan. It seems something that would be common sense, but in my layman's brain, I was just like, people recognize your greatness and was like, you know what?
That's how they make it look though.
Right.
It is, but it's a whole thing.
It's a process.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we knew majorly about Rouge History, which we will definitely touch on a little later, but we wanted to know detail-wise, what was this project that you received the award for, and what was your I know you was a writer narrator, but how did it come about for them to say, we want you to be a part of the project?
Yeah, so it was actually Melissa Salpetra she had worked with me on season 1 of Rouge History, and so we kind of knew each other already, and then she was working on this project called City of Hope.
Okay.
Which is about Wilmington before the insurrection of 1898. And so everybody, if you talk to me for 15 minutes, you know that I want to talk about that topic. I post about Wilmington in 1898 like once a year, basically, twice a year. I talk about it all the time.
Right.
Because I think that's like a flash in the pan, not flash in the pan, but like a flashpoint moment for really the country. Because that's like, Wilmington is like the last Black city to fall during that time period where it's like the last there were a number of cities where we talk about Wilmington as the one place where an insurrection happened and the government was overthrown, but it's really not. I don't think that's accurate. And so if you look through the 1870s and 1880s, it happened in New Orleans, it happens in Vicksburg, Mississippi. So there's a lot of different places where it's going on, but Wilmington is like the last one that's really standing. And so I think it's really important to talk about what happened during that period with the insurrection and the massacre. But it's also important to cover like the Black joy and the Black experience that was happening when it was the good times.
Right.
And so with this series, it was, Melissa and Paula Edelson's idea to talk about it. But they knew that I was into that topic. And so I was able to contribute some of that expertise to the topic selection. And then I did the narration for it. And some of I gave some creative opinions on like the edits for the illustrations and stuff. And then all of that, came together, and this is what we got out of it.
There it is. The rest is, as they say, history, and it's so dope. It's so dope that they trusted you with that.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely appreciated. Every time, it's a big thing for people to believe in you. Like, you believe in yourself, but when other people start saying, "Hey, like, we trust you to make this something good,"
a big project,
that says something about where you're going with your work.
Absolutely.
And then for me, I'm always, like I said before, everything I'm doing it for like my family, my people. So like when I'm getting there, I'm like, okay, so the message is getting louder.
There it is.
The communication is getting louder. More people are going to start
turn
hearing
it up.
Come on.
So that's big for me.
I love it. Got a family to feed. I mean, it's for real.
I gotta listen to that on the
I'm telling you. That's beautiful, man.
So what kind of steered you into wanting to talk about things like empowerment and civil rights and things. And what are some experiences that led you to being like, oh, this is something that the people need to hear?
Yeah, so I think for me, it started, my parents are teachers. So that was the first thing, is that like, I wasn't going to get out of the house without knowing what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you read your history.
You read today.
And so my parents were teachers. My grandfather was super active. My mom's dad, he was super active in the community all the time.
Wow.
And so my mom's mom was the same way. My dad's mom was like also out there. She was like really heavy in the medical industry in Fayetteville.
Okay.
Wow. Doing a lot. She was like she worked for Cape Fear.
Okay.
And she was like very impactful in that way. So it's like people that aren't necessarily like MLK, Rosa Parks type people, but like when you look at the length of time that they've been consistently doing the same thing all the time, they do make an impact.
They change a lot of lives.
That's what I was seeing when I was coming up as a kid.
Awesome.
And then I also, being that my parents were teachers, they didn't hide anything from me. So like I saw my first picture of a lynching when I was 6.
Wow.
So I was reading a book and I flipped the page and boom.
They said, get him while he's young.
Yeah. So like when I saw stuff like that young, it like took the illusion away from me really early. Where I was like, okay, something is going on and I need to have my eyes open to look around and see what's happening. And then once I got to like, I had experiences with racism when I was like, so there was like, y'all remember Accelerated Reader? Yeah. So they had Accelerated Reader at the elementary school I went to. And in first grade, I was like, okay, this is cool. Like I'm learning about it. I hadn't experienced it before. So I was like, this is neat. And I saw that they had an award for the student with the most Accelerated Reader points in the school. Right. And I was like, okay, next year I'm gonna get that award.
Right.
And I'm the kind of person, if I say I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna get it. So the next year, I was like, I had outscored like entire classrooms.
Easy work.
In Accelerated Reader, you know what I'm saying? So as a second grader, but like when they realized I was gonna win, they got rid of the award.
Oh.
And so like stuff like that early on.
Come on.
I was like, okay. It's gonna be that kind of thing, a little bit different. You like that, then? All right. And so, like when I had experiences like that, it didn't really it made me mad.
Yeah,
it hurt my feelings,
of course.
But I was like, all right, like when it's my chance, I'm about to be cooking. Like
they can't.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
let them cook.
I'm about to get after it as soon as I have the opportunity. And so when I did, that's just what I did.
Well, we thank God for those moments because those moments made you who you were today.
Yeah.
Those rose-colored glasses, you were blessed to not have them on for like most of your life, it seems like. And I can say from my experiences, also being an Accelerated Reader champ. Yeah. Then,
you know what I'm saying?
I would have threw it. You were reading this.
That's the first championship right there.
Yeah, because I know I wanted that McDonald's. Yes. Well, they get an apple pie too.
I say that to say I wish that my rose-colored glasses was off at an earlier age too.
Yeah.
Because then I could have not saying that I could have done anything. Because of course, this is not something that could be solved.
Right. It already happened.
But like, I wish I would have been aware at least. Yeah. The fact that your parents was like, no, you gonna know. I wish I had that.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah. That's beautiful.
You have anything you want to say?
Are
you done?
Yeah.
What was it? Oh yeah. And I like how you use it as fuel instead of like, well, dang, I guess I might as well just stay in my place. You was like, oh nah, player. That's how we play. And I always like to refer back to the GOAT, Michael Jackson. How he put out Off the Wall, and it was clearly the best album out there. Right. There was no debate about it. But they was just like, yeah, but it's R&B and there's some other guys out there that, the skin is right. So we're gonna, So he said, okay, fine. That's cool. You want to label me, put me in the box? I'm gonna make something you cannot deny.
Right.
Here comes Thriller. The rest is history. So I'm glad that he used it as fuel. You can't tell me no.
Another thing for me too, you talk about Michael Jackson. My idol as a kid was Michael Jordan.
Yes. So, yes.
So like when I'm
even
starting
more,
out and like that's the guy I'm watching all the time, I was like, no, and I'm just crazy competitive anyway.
Yeah.
So if you like tell me, oh, you can't win because of the system, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm getting ready to
burn it down.
Let me see it.
right? We gonna see about that. We gonna have a conversation.
Are you sure?
I might lose.
Right.
We gonna have a conversation.
Somebody going
We
down
don't
with
have a
me.
conversation.
Yeah.
Somebody going down with
that.
me.
Yeah.
I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah.
I'm from around the
There you
way.
go.
Right? So is your historical reenactment something that you've always done? And in the future, can you see yourself continuing to do so?
So I tried. When I was a kid, the first experience I ever had with that, I was in 3rd grade, and they sent out, you know how they would send out like the camp packets at the end of the year and be like, hey, there's this camp.
Yeah, for the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they sent out one for Camp Flintlock.
Okay.
And it was like, you can come and dress up as a revolutionary soldier. You can fire a revolutionary
Oh, shoot,
musket.
now.
Like,
We
come
popping.
do this. And I was like, Mom,
Nah.
I gotta go. You gotta make this happen.
Like,
She
please.
was like, I'm not sending you under that camp. You ain't going out there.
I can hear
It's
it
not
now.
gonna happen.
I can
You know
hear
what I'm
it
saying? So I was like, oh, okay. And like, what did I just say earlier? You tell me I can't do something.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna end up doing it. This is what's gonna happen. And so like whenever I graduated from Fayetteville State, there was an opportunity to go work at Cowpens National Battlefield. And so with that, they needed an interpreter. So I went through a program called the Greening Youth Foundation, which is still out there for y'all who have college kids. The Greening Youth Foundation sends kids from HBCUs into the Department of the Interior Services. So like the national parks, the Bureau of Land Management, their goal is to get Black faces into those spaces.
Mhm.
Wow.
And so I was able to get an internship through them to go work at Cowpens National Battlefield.
Okay.
And so when I got there, they were like, hey, you know Black history. We don't interpret that the best here. Like, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Get to work.
I love it how everybody was like, man, we can trust him with this because we don't know nothing.
So I would say they knew the history. They just they didn't have programs in place to interpret.
Gotcha.
And so that was the first place where I started to try it out and try to emphasize. And I did a series or a show, like a living history interpretation of this made up character named Scipio.
Okay.
And so I used that to talk about Black loyalists so during the American Revolution, the majority of Black people who participated in the revolution actually fought for the British.
Okay.
Because the British were promising freedom in exchange for service.
Sign me up.
And so I talked about that. I used that character to talk about that to people in a way that they would remember.
Mhm.
Cool.
And that was it got to the point where that was in the regional newspapers and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'm doing all right with that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I had a friend reach out. He wasn't a friend at the time, but I'd asked him for advice about what to do. And he told me about this group that he was in called the Sons and Daughters of Ham that does Civil War living history stuff. And so he was like, you should come out with us to Harper's Ferry. You should see what it's like. And so I went out there with them. It was a great time. This is a whole troupe of Black people that do living history, and they do it to the T. It's the detail that they have in their clothing and their interpretation. I was like, this is where I want to be.
Yes, sir. No games are being played.
I started working with them, and we did a lot with national parks, state parks, stuff like that.
Awesome.
And that's kind of where I got the Frederick Douglas idea, and then started rolling with that. And so I think that now I've definitely changed about it. So I used to be like, this is the way. This is how I'm going to get to the people.
Mhm.
And I don't feel quite that way anymore, but I think it has a place.
Okay.
My issue is that I'm very aggressive. I think we gathered that from the first half of this. I'm an extremely aggressive human being. And so whenever we were doing interpretations, it was we're going to sit and tell you about contraband, for example, people who escaped during the Civil War, and they were marked as contraband so that they didn't have to be returned to the Confederacy. That was the strategy. But they were in this kind of liminal space where they're not citizens, but they're not, they're not free, they're not slaves,
They're not
so
property.
it was a weird kind of thing. And so we did a really good job of interpreting that. But then for me, I'm like, hey, yo, if we can do this, we can do a slave rebellion.
Come on.
We can simulate setting something on fire.
Come on.
Rebel! Yeah, like I got like that. And so like that's like my interest as far as interpretation was extremely aggressive too.
Yes.
And so like I felt sort of like I wasn't able to get out what I wanted to get out.
They wanted you to dial it back more.
Yeah. And so like now I think I'm in my 30s now, so I'm like slowing down.
I got you.
But I'm also like I have other ways of communicating about things.
Gotcha.
Sure.
That's what's up.
And so I'm starting to see it differently, and I'll get back into it eventually.
Awesome.
And I'm curious about like World War I type stuff and that era of interpretation too, because that's one that people don't cover a lot. So I think that's where I'm going. But
I got you.
Respect and power to that, because I believe you told me Frederick Douglas is death date.
It's February 20th.
Yeah, it's the 20th. So just really relevant that you would resonate with that historical character persona to implement into your reenactment.
Yeah.
You first of all, I've seen you look very good.
I appreciate it.
You guys should check it out because he's very accurate. And if you have that fire, like, I could just imagine if I was in a space where you were doing that, I would love it. Because I think me and my sister actually did do something similar. Nothing nowhere near what you would do probably. But she had an acting gig where we were to stand in a museum and we were some Black historical figure. We dressed up as them and we had to answer questions and stuff or read the thing as if we were that character. But we probably didn't do it as good as a job, honestly. But it was
national newspapers and stuff.
Yeah, but it was so fun and it was so eye-opening. It was a very new experience for me. Like I said, I do not act anymore. I'm a writer.
We'll get her back. But
it was very fun. So I could just imagine the fire you feel like, you know what, I'm going to take this character, but I'm also going to do it the justice that I want to see done.
I think the thing that was most interesting about getting into Frederick Douglass is learning how similar we were. So like Frederick Douglass was a violinist. I'm a violinist.
Oh.
You know, Frederick Douglass was chronically ill and disabled. So am I. Like there were so many things throughout the process of learning him where I was like, oh, this is just me. We would have
been boys. I'm like, hey, what we doing this weekend?
But it was like, I think the thing about it is that it was valid to be like, okay, so this guy who's like probably the greatest American of the 19th century is not that different from me. You know what I'm saying? And then like when all the people he's interacting with who were like stellar human beings themselves, I'm like, these people aren't that different from my friends. So it helped me bring these types of people back down to earth in a way, and understand that like we all can achieve the type of stuff that they were achieving too. So like that's really what came out of it for me more than anything is like learning that these people are human. And Freddie was making some mistakes too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Freddie
was out there. So like learning about like them making mistakes, them doing all these different things, and still being what they were. I'm like, oh, like you don't have to be perfect to make a difference. You know,
this is facts.
It's attainable.
Yeah,
this is facts.
And it's not like we have to go through all these steps in order to do that. You just have to start. You know, and that was what I took away from it for me. And then for the public, they still, at the site that I went to, like, are you going to come back and do it again?
I should.
Yeah, I'd like to at some point. I think it'll happen.
That'd be great. And then we would love to come support you as well.
For sure.
Let us know.
We'll
let y'all know.
Front and center. We'll record all of it. I think it's scary to people that wanted you to dial it back. They probably say he might start something for real, just like Frederick did.
There was one lady, whenever I did that performance, she got upset. She was like, you were talking about because there's a part it was the What Till the Slave is the 4th of July speech. And there was a part in the speech where he was talking about like, oh, you know, the military, we talked about these men fighting in the military and all these Black people are doing service. But then the military is being used to harm us. It was being weaponized against us. He had had something in the speech about that. And I said it. I was like, it's true today too. Get it out there. So I talked about that, and she's like, I served in the military 20 years. Talking about, and I was like, okay.
He said thank you.
When I'm talking to people after something, I'm like, oh, okay.
Thanks.
You're upset. You're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, it's a personal problem.
Thank you for that feedback.
For you to figure out for yourself. I ain't say nothing false.
Right. You scared of the truth.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
You're gonna have that. Yeah, I imagine you run into that a lot.
Yeah.
But he was an abolitionist, and he was a speaker. What did you think? Back in his time, it was probably more raw.
Mm-hmm. Unfiltered.
Yeah. What is wrong with you?
And didn't care about the consequences.
Yeah, obviously.
The thing about Frederick Douglass that I think a lot of people don't realize, bro was scrapping.
Yeah.
He was swinging on.
Because he beat up his master, right? Yeah.
I remember that story. He got into a 3-hour fight with his overseer. Where the overseer was like, I'm going to whip you. And he's like, no, you're not. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, I love that part.
Jot this down, bro. And then the dude kept coming back. He's like, I got my wrist back. I'm going to fight you for real. Now he's like, I'm going to whoop you again. We can do this all day.
I mean, it's what it can't
like whenever he had emancipated himself with the help of his wife, Anna Douglas. Shout out to her.
Allies, thank you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he was emancipated, and he would fight the white, there'd be white mobs and gangs after him. He would fight them straight up.
Let's go.
And he would run them off himself, because they were like, this dude in that period, he was he was my size.
Right.
During that period.
Right. Oh yeah.
So he was
peep squeaks.
Towering over people. And he's like, nah, I'll fight all of y'all. What's up?
Right. He was at
it. The other thing about him is he wasn't just saying it. He backed up everything.
He was about it.
He was about it. Yeah. And so I think it's interesting to talk about someone who's perceived as being as eloquent and he's a speaker, he's a higher level thinker. But he squared up with you too.
He was
I think that's an important message.
He was the epitome.
That's very important.
It's a very important conversation to have.
He was the epitome of fuck around and find out.
That's what I'm saying.
The epitome.
He was absolutely like that. So I'm I think all of that, being able to get to draw all of that out of him, is really important today.
That's beautiful.
So important. Yes.
Well, R.I.P. again, Frederick Douglass, man.
Yeah, man. We still miss
Legacy still going strong. So on this beautiful show that we have, we like to refer to this as the humble beginnings. So pretty much we kind of want to know what started the whole process for Joel. We were informed of your background with the education in your family, but what led to, I'm going to go to college, and from therefore we're going to just continue to be this broad person that's going to learn all this information and express it to everybody. So how do we get to that point?
I mean, college wasn't a choice.
So you go.
Hey, look here.
You go.
You want to be at university. So that was not an option for me. So my parents were pushing that really hard. And when I went to school, I went to Jack Britt.
Jack Britt?
In Cumberland County. And so they were pushing STEM really hard.
Okay.
But I always was into the history. That was the class where I was locked in all the time. That was the class where I was paying attention all the time. I got good grades. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I graduated, so I did but those were the classes where I was really locked in versus everything else. So I went to school initially. I was planning on being an environmental engineer. And so when I got to Fayetteville State, actually, my goal at Fayetteville State was to transfer. So I went there first because I was like, I'm going to get these credits out of here, and then I'm going to transfer to a school that has engineering.
Okay.
But what happened was I did calculus 1 and I got an A. And then I did calculus 2 and I got a B. And I did calculus 3 and I got a C. And I was like,
he was like,
I don't think this is working out. I don't think this is a great career path for me. This is not going how it's supposed to go. But right around that time, I had taken my first history class because you had to have them for credits early on. And Dr. Walsh was she's like, hey, you're really into history. What's your major? And I was like, I'm a chemistry major. I'm going to be an engineer. And she was like, do you want to do that?
She will ask.
She gonna ask.
She gonna
everybody.
ask.
That
She
sounds like
gonna
a good
ask.
counselor.
You
She's
sure?
amazing. Yeah, I still talk to her
Yeah.
today.
Oh,
She's-
shout
So
out.
like she's like, yeah, do you want to do that? Is that really? You really like history? And I was like, I do really like history. So then I like jumped over to history, and that's when I like took off.
Okay.
In school. So like you can literally see on my transcript where it's like A, B, occasional C, failed a class, had to retake it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it gets to history. Like when I made that switch, it was like rocket fuel.
Just
like I was gone.
this man,
You know what I'm saying?
4.5.
Like straight A's the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then once I got to it was my junior year, she came up to me again and she's like, "Hey, there's this program in East Carolina for underwater archaeology. You know, you should look into that." And I was like, first of all, I can't swim. I'm not doing that. Jot that down. That's not gonna happen. And then she's like, "No, I really think you should look into it." And I was like, "I'm not doing that."
Right.
So then I got into my senior year, and I'm like, okay, if I graduate from history, I'm gonna have to be like a teacher. I'm gonna have to do something that I'm a little bit too stir crazy to be a teacher, and I fight these kids. So I don't know about that. So I was like, I went back to her office and I was like, "Hey, yo, like, let's talk about that archaeology."
You know, since you mentioned
I was
it,
like, at least I know I'm gonna be outside.
all right,
I can be doing something.
right,
With that, I can be physically active with it, which is what I wanted out of a job.
okay,
And so like Cameron,
yeah,
shout out Cameron.
shout out.
Cameron took me to the pool.
He said,
Taught me
"We'll
to
get you right.
survive.
We'll get you
Oh,
right.
wow.
We'll get you
what I'm
right."
saying? So like,
At least you learn.
Yeah. I kept practicing. I got into ECU without that. I taught myself, finished teaching myself how to swim. Got my diving certification
Okay.
before I got to ECU.
Wow.
And then I had to do like the scientific diving. So I had to train even more for that, like 2 more years to get in shape for that.
Okay.
And then I originally went to ECU for, I was going for the underwater archaeology program, but I was trying to study the Middle Passage. Like I wanted to know about the transition. Like we talk about Africa, we talk about the New World when it comes to slavery, but I was like, what's happening in the middle? You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I originally was going to do. But like I said, I was the only Black person there. I didn't really have anybody to talk to. And reading like content that was like not, you shouldn't be by yourself.
I got
doing
you.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to a point where I was like, I can't do this full time. I can't sit and read this kind of documentation full time. And so I switched over to like World War I, World War II stuff, and that's how I finished my degree at ECU.
Got you.
But yeah, I never like left that stuff behind. You know, it's just like with the slavery conversations, a lot of the Jim Crow stuff that I study, it's like I have to take that in doses. You know, I can't just sit there.
Yeah, you gotta protect yourself.
Yeah, so like that always stayed around, and I might write a paper about it somewhere. But I like kept my focus, and the way I graduated was through like the World War I and World War II stuff, and then that's how I eventually got the position that I do now, where I'm working with like researching prisoners of war and missing in action and stuff like that.
Wow.
And that's still heavy too. So
Yeah, it
you
is.
gotta take extra
Yeah,
care.
and like a lot of the stuff that I do with that is like the thing that really gets me with that is like realizing, you know, you look at the ages and it's like, oh, this kid was killed, you know, over Japan, and it's like he was 18 years old. This person was killed over here. They were 19. They were a captain. They're 19 years old. It's like I don't feel like you're old enough to be. You know what I'm saying?
They're not.
Yeah, and so like it really with that, like a lot of the stuff that I end up doing as far as research is like pretty heavy. It's nothing lightweight.
Got you.
As far as like the emotional toll, and so like that's why like my personality is kind of like in everything else I'm bubbly and like I'm with my family. I'm like out doing everything else because I'm like I already done seen looking at these records. I already done seen how I can get. So I'm like I better enjoy this.
Enjoy it,
you know what I'm saying? Like I better enjoy it while I'm here.
Get that
Have you ever
balance.
seen this movie where I'm pretty sure it's a musical as well, where this guy, is it World War II? It's one of the world wars. It's a carefree guy, and then it's a guy who's like, I'm gonna go to the army and I'm gonna fight for my country. And the carefree guy is like, oh, that's stupid. Like, why would you, during the hippie movement when it was like, no, peace and love, why would you do that? And then he ends up accidentally going in his place and he dies overseas. It is such jarring, and it's a musical. So like
Wow.
in between the pain, and, like
They're still doing a musical.
they're still, and you're. So I think that's the good segue for me, because there was a little bit of something that I enjoyed or brings me joy, which is music and musicals and stuff like that.
For sure.
With a heavy topic of like, he didn't choose that, he didn't want that, you wanted it.
Damn.
And you didn't. By the end of it, of course, he changed his mind and he saw the ways of the guy, the hippie guy.
Mhm.
But it's too late because he's dead.
He's gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, take your time.
Yeah.
Take care of your health, your mental health always. But you coming back to it, like you said, over time, that is going to stack up. It's going to get louder and louder.
And I mean, that's kind of what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? Like with the opportunities I got with PBS, I got the opportunity to talk about that stuff on a bigger stage than what I was doing. Because I was like writing articles, and nobody's reading the article.
Nobody reads.
It's good writing.
I mean,
nobody reads it.
Not today.
So outside of the people that already know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
A lot of people really don't read that kind of stuff. So being able to put it on a public platform like that,
Mhm.
really, that seems like the way.
I got you.
You know.
Got you.
So
Okay.
So how did PBS come about? If you could tell us about that. Did you have to audition, or did like someone call you in for that?
So I was working at Old Salem Museum and Gardens right after I finished. I didn't finish graduate school. COVID happened. And ECU was like, we can't pay y'all to be graduate assistants. Y'all got to get up out of here. So I had to go get a job. So I was working at Old Salem. And because we had started during the pandemic, we had to film content because we couldn't have anybody on the historic site. And so our videos that we were making, digital content, started doing really well. And then PBS saw those, and they happened to be looking for someone who fit my profile at the time. And so like I got an email from my supervisor from ECU, my old professor from ECU, and she's like, hey, you know, these people from PBS want to talk to you. And so I was thinking, I was like, okay, you know, normally when they're reaching out to a historian, because by that time I had switched over to ECU, working at ECU. Normally when they reach out to a historian, they're like, we want you for like a 15-minute interview, and then we'll cut it up and put what we need in. So I was like, it's going to be something like that. And they were like, yeah, no, we want you to host a show. Excuse me. You actually fit our profile perfectly, because they were looking for someone who had a knowledge of pirates, which I'm a maritime historian. So they were looking for someone from North Carolina. That's me. And they were looking for someone who was cultured, not necessarily a white person, not necessarily a black person either, but just somebody who was like cultured and aware of like North Carolina history.
Yeah.
And so like I fit the profile, and they were like, yeah, we've seen your content from Old Salem. We want to bring you in to try out the show. We want to shoot a pilot and see how it goes. And like took off from there, you know. Like there was no real like interview process for it or audition process for it. It was just like, we've seen what you've done. Come try this out and see if it works for you, you know?
Wow.
And so like that's how that got rolling.
I mean, what they say, through a window or an open door.
So I mean, what's going through your mind when you find out what they actually want?
I mean, I was like, at the time, I was going through it.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this is an additional stream of income, which is very helpful right now because I'm fighting for my life. Start with that. I was like, but then like the main thing is I was like, okay, can I actually do this?
Okay.
You know what I mean, like, do I actually have the chops to be able to do this?
Okay.
And then like whenever we got into the actual studio, I did like my first take, and they were like, that was great. They were like, that was great. We're gonna film one for safety, and then we can move on. And I was like, you don't want to do it again? You know what I'm saying? And like whenever that happened, I was like, okay, I can do this.
Okay.
You know? And that was where it really, like I started to kind of learn the art of that type of educational content and that type of production for the public. I just started to once I realized in those first couple of minutes and hours with them that I could actually do what they were asking me to do. I was like, okay, now it's time to like perfect it.
Yeah.
And even now, I mean, we've done well, but I don't think
he's being modest.
I don't think I've perfected it yet, because I'm still, like you're working on that craft every day. So it's
absolutely.
like if you get to a certain point with it, what else can I do to make it better? How else can I prepare as a creative to continue to make this a better process every time I do it?
I love it.
And that's the challenge with artistry and artists. The work is never done.
Yeah.
And improvement is definitely never done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite episode?
I got a couple.
That's like me. I can't pick one.
Man, I think my favorite episode, just because it was hard,
Okay.
is we did one about in the second season of The Spies. We did an episode about Walter Loving.
Mm-hmm.
So Walter Loving was a musician who joined the army in the 1890s, got sent to the Philippines during the Philippine-American War. Google it. Very important. We don't talk about it enough. Philippine-American War. And he eventually, during World War I, was recruited by military intelligence to spy on the Black community in America. Because at the time, there was a suspicion that the Germans would infiltrate the Black community and do what was called at the time Negro subversion.
Okay.
So they were like, oh, because they're like, we're treating them terrible. And someone's going to take advantage of that. And it's like, well, you should probably stop treating them terrible. Why don't you just stop? But they didn't. They were like, no, we should spy on them. That's the answer.
So we can keep doing it.
Yeah, so they sent Walter Loving in because he was well known, but he could also kind of like blend in. Because you can't send a white guy to a Black event and be like, I'm just here to hang out. In 1918, you can't get away with it. So Walter Loving went in and did that. And so like it was one of those episodes where I had to take my own feelings on him and like put him in a box.
I got you.
Because for me, I was like, man, you snitch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I felt about it. You out here snitching on your peoples. So I was like, I felt some kind of way about him, but I was still fascinated by him.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really need to dig into this and learn about this guy and why he made the decisions he was making. And so once I realized, oh, this guy was in the Philippines so the Philippines was like a genocide. We committed a genocide in the Philippines, and he witnessed that. You know what I'm saying? And then he's coming back home, and it's like East St. Louis massacres happening. That era was like every other month you're hearing about a Black community getting burned to the ground. So like with all of that going on in the background, his mindset is like, okay, I'm infiltrating my community, but also they knew who I am, and I'm like, hey, if you want your newspaper to not get banned, this is what you need to do. Like that, he was doing like that kind of stuff. And so like he wasn't perfect, he wasn't good. He was in this like weird gray area.
Okay.
But what he did had an impact. And his final report to the army was like, hey, yes, I've been in these communities and they're upset about all of these things, but like they haven't resisted at all. They haven't like done anything that would indicate you having this level of suspicion towards him. And if you don't change things, he like went through a list of like Black soldiers have suffered when they're coming back and being wounded in World War I because you don't treat them well at the hospitals, and then they're in segregated cars. And he like went through the whole list of like, this is all the ways that these are all the places where they have a grievance, and they should be pissed off at you. They have every right to be pissed off at you. And then he like used, because communism at the time was like, oh, it's still like that. But like back then it was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he used communism. He was like, if you're worried about them becoming communists, if you're worried about all this stuff happening, treat them better.
Yeah.
Treat them like human beings and you won't have to worry about it. And so like that report, it didn't just resonate with, I don't know if it resonated, but stuff got a little better.
It hit some notes.
Somewhere.
So it didn't just land here though. It also made it over to the British intelligence because at that time you're about to have like the Windrush generation of Caribbean people coming to England because they've also been fighting for England whenever they called up troops for the war. So like they were also looking at his report and being like, oh, treat them like humans. Go figure. So but like he's just this really interesting character, and the effort that it took to be as objective as I could be about him is what I really like about that episode. It got, because I was objective about it, some of the responses were funny to me too, because people were like,
Oh,
you ain't real.
I
I
thought
was
you
in
was-
the comments because I watched that.
thought you was
episode.
down.
with us.
In the comments, I was like, y'all not passing the vibe.
yeah.
geez.
So I welcome that, because it means people are
Engaging.
and thinking.
Social
Mhm.
commentary.
And so I know that the initial response someone gets, because they're doing what I did.
Mhm.
When I first read about them, I was like, man, you little fake.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
hell.
So, but when I took a step back and revisited the information, I was like, no, this is a very complicated person, which I
Mhm.
hate that word, but it applies here.
Yeah.
Where we actually do need to take a step back and look at the whole picture of what's happening in his life.
I would argue that's every person of color historical figure. I mean,
Absolutely.
I've only been doing what you've been doing for maybe 2 years, because we started our BlackVomit Black History Month cookout maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just go through some historical that people may not know of. And I've noticed a pattern of Phyllis Wheatley, Donna Drake, all these people, they all lived in gray areas. They all did something that we would today be like, oh, this century. We have to think about the nuances. We have to think about what they're going through, what they're living through. You wouldn't be able I wouldn't be able to do this. So to them sit back in our easy boy chairs in 2020
we are
and be like, I wouldn't snitch.
Right.
So I'm like,
I wouldn't fold.
Where the Wi-Fi?
They were trying to make a living.
I might fold.
Yeah.
I might fold several times.
So you said that if I just, all right.
That really got me, especially with Phyllis Wheatley being a writer, and I'm a writer, and I she's a role model to me. What she had to do, what she had to say, how she had to write, things that she had to kill inside of her to be able to be heard by the opposition, to have good things happen for her people.
Right.
We don't know.
Mhm.
We don't know, but it's interesting.
We never really have an opportunity because everything that we see, they were pre-filtering it for
an
their
audience.
It's only recently with us, literally,
that we could be
our
raw,
generation,
unfiltered.
not even our parents, us, where we could just be raw and say what we want to say without consequences.
And they're trying to take that, but anyway. But anyway.
So what was that conversation like when you was letting everybody know I'm gonna be on PBS?
Oh man, that's crazy. I remember after I had the call, I went back home to the person I was dating at the time, and I was like, yeah, so, because I was like, it's just gonna be an interview.
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna talk about some historical thing they want to talk about.
That's all.
And I was like, no, they want me to host a show.
You came back Steve Harvey.
Syndicated. Hey, look, you came back Steve Harvey. It's crazy.
And then I called my parents and I'm like, yeah, PBS wants me to host a show. Man, what's it about? And I was like, well, it's about pirates. But other than that, I know what y'all know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was really kind of like a blur for a while.
Yeah.
Because I was even when I was doing it, we were getting to the end of the season. And I was like, is this actually this is happening?
Yeah.
This is for real a thing. And it took me, I would say it took me until pretty deep into the second season to be like, okay, this is mine. This is my
I
show.
like that. I like
this
that.
is I'm writing these episodes.
Yeah.
I'm contributing heavily to this. This is something that I can put my fingerprints on. You know, it took me a while to get to that point with it, and it helped me understand artistry in other forms too, because you kind of see. Usually, you see with artists, their second thing is their best a lot of times.
Yeah.
That first one, you that was lit. The second album, you're that's the classic.
They got it.
You know, that's the one. And that kind of stuff clicked for me too. So everything that I've done with these experiences is it's teaching me patience and understanding for everybody else around me that's doing all of these different things.
I like that. I like that. I'm the same way too. That's why I'm I don't have no enemies in the artistry world, because I might work with them one day. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got no beef. I understand what you've been through.
Yeah.
You know.
Outside of PBS, would you want to progress further into the entertainment industry? If Ryan Coogler called right now and was I want to make a Frederick Douglas movie.
Let me look at the camera.
Are you signing?
Mr. Coogler, if you call me today, right now, all right, I'm gone, bro. I don't even need to see the contract.
You're gone.
It could be a bag of potato chips, a Carolina burger. I don't know if you know about them, but I take one of them. I'll be good.
He said, "That's all I need."
That's
That's all I need. We ain't got to talk about nothing else.
Nothing else.
So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm very much actually my thing when I was a kid is like fiction writing.
Okay.
Fictional history is what I really enjoy.
Mhm.
So like I have a little notebook at home where I like sketch out stories and stuff. And then lately, actually, I've had a book, like a fiction book that I've been thinking about for years now, really since the pandemic started in 2020. And so I'm getting to the point now where I'm like starting to flesh out chapters. And I've done all the like, because being a geek, I'm like, I need to know everything about it.
Yeah,
right.
I'm the same way.
So I was like, I spent like 5
World
years
building
being like,
characters. Yep.
what was the type of clothing they wore in 1898?
Yes.
But like I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, okay, I can write now for real. And I think that when I have like the time and the space, I'm going to be ready to actually start putting that kind of stuff out. And the goal really with my writing is to get it translated. I was looking into screenwriting for a while. That was what I thought I was going to go back to school for. But whenever I was talking to some of the people that kind of mentored me and advised me with the PBS stuff, they were like, you don't really need to go back. Like you're at that point now where you can kind of the experience that you've had
That's beautiful.
is enough for you to be able to start taking shots and seeing what happens.
Yes.
So I'm like, I want to put some of those ideas out. I'm really into like blending like supernatural with Black history. Like I like having those conversations because in a lot of what we did, you're like, that feels like a supernatural behavior anyway. Because how did you even do that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, I'm really interested in blending those things and like playing with that. And then there's a lot about Black history where there's like dead zones where it's like, we know that this guy was born in this time, nothing, because we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then he did this big thing. Like that's like Crispus Attucks, for example. We know he was born in 1723, 40 years. Boston Massacre. Like we don't know what was going on and all this
right for the
and so it's exactly like there's so much that you can then fill in that could be realistic, could be playing with fantasy, but it's going to give people an opportunity to learn something.
Yes.
And so I'm really interested in putting out writing like that, both in book form and like film form. So again, Mr. Kugler, I'm here.
Call him up.
I also like vampires. Some of my work is about vampires.
Yes.
If you're out there, if you're watching, I'm here.
Hey,
call me.
We're all.
I don't know. You know, I'll have my people call your people. Your people were probably blocked, and that's understandable. But we tried, and I'm here.
Take this opportunity. Take this golden opportunity. Please.
One more time.
That's all.
Please.
Hear him out now.
I feel you on that. That's so interesting because a lot of people there's a lot of writer friends who are like in tune to like what it takes to do all of that, who are of color. We're going down that same route of like Black fantasy.
Yeah.
And we need it because it's not a lot of it. And I swear my experience as a writer, as an artist growing up, I still have some of my old works, my old drawings, my old writings and scribbles, character building, world building. It was so whitewashed. It was so gentrified because I didn't know anything. But then when I found out, you can almost, like when I die and they go through my books, they're going to be like, we can see the shift where she was just like, there are no white people at all in this story. Whereas everybody Black was, yes, because I opened my eyes and saw there was a lack, there was something missing. And every Black creative artist, writer that I know, we are on the same page.
One of the things that I was thinking about is, like I was saying, I actually like vampires. One of the things I was writing about is I was like, what are the rules for Black vampires? Because like if you're
can't be the same.
If you're a Black vampire, is garlic really going to bother you? Like that's a real question. Like if somebody threw some garlic,
it's seasoning.
Black vampire, you'd be like,
it's some good seasoning.
Trying to cook something? What are we doing?
Some good gumbo.
And then like the bigger thing for me, actually, I'm not going to say that.
You got to call him.
I'm writing.
Yeah. You can come to him.
Never mind. Y'all will see in 3 to 5 years.
Yes, right.
But I have some ideas about the way Black vampires work. And I think it would be different than the way that other vampires work. I
love it.
I don't think it'll be the same
or
thing.
other mythical creatures. I'm just going to give a shout out to Sam right now. Sam, you know what I'm talking. I'm not going to say your idea in depth. I'm just going to say black mermaids. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Shout out to Sam. You know what I'm talking about?
I have some guesses, and I like my guesses. So,
yo, he would love to talk to you. I swear he would. He would love to be here right now. We should do something like that. We should do like a book nook episode or something.
That'd be fun.
That would be so fun.
I always looked at you as somebody that kind of like, I wouldn't say the role model because we're peers, but somebody that I would look to be like, okay, how does he think about it? Because I know he has a good understanding of it. So if we ain't on the same path, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So I remember we was having a conversation in the past about owning a black movie theater.
Yeah.
You remember that conversation?
I do. Yeah.
And so I wanted you to kind of chime in on that a little bit more, because somebody hears that and they'll be like, movie theater, like, why?
He means I heard that. He told me about this, and my first reaction was like, isn't that just a regular movie?
It's not though.
So he said you would explain it better.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
And
so,
yeah,
you know how you go to the movie theater and they're like, hi, we got popcorn and goobers and like gummy worms and a bunch of stuff you're not supposed to eat at a movie. Like, when you're at your house, what do you eat? You don't be eating popcorn and gummy worms, right?
no.
Okay, so imagine a movie theater. Chef Judy from Fayetteville, shout her out.
Ooh, shout out.
Chef Judy's in there catering, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can go in there. You can prepare to watch a movie for a reasonable price, not $13,
Right.
$8, whatever. And then you go over to buy food that you can eat in the theater, because we don't care. We be sneaking food in there. So the last time I went to the movies, I took a whole plate of Bojangles.
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna be in there anyway. So you might as well sell good food in the theater, right? And like a rotating cast. So like the way I think about it is like there's like one person who's your featured person, who's obviously whoever they like the best. You know, is still business. So whoever they like the best. But then there's like rotating booths of like other people being able to bring in their catering, and like as long as they're following Serve Safe certified, as long as they're following like the rules of like sanitation, the rules of the theater, you have like rotating black businesses coming in and selling products and selling food products, selling other stuff too. If that's what they want to do, man. Like that's something that I thought about, and then like not just doing that, but like in what we're showing in the theater, showing things that actually help us and uplift us. So like like it's a business, so you're gonna show some of the films,
of course, to get them in there, to get them in there.
But like you also, because it's a black theater, because it's a personally private owned business, you don't have to follow a franchise's rule. You can go in there and be like, okay, we're going to show the autobiography of Malcolm X today in theater number 2. So if you want to come catch that, you can come catch that. Okay, we're going to have HBCU students come in today. They can come for free. They get a voucher to go grab something to eat, and then they can go watch a documentary about Frederick Douglas. Like, that's the kind of power that you have when you have your own stuff. And so like, because I've been into film so much, like that's something that's still like in the back of my mind. Like, you know, if I hit the big leagues.
See, this is why I said that, because when I hit the big leagues, we're gonna partner this, because that conversation never left me.
I don't know what we're gonna call it.
Yo, we can
figure it out.
Because I swear, half of what you said was when we were here cracking up. Because she said that to me, and I was like confused. But then I was like, so this is what I would think it would be. And you literally, I was like, so we're not getting snacks. We are eating food. Because it's gonna be there anyway. And we are watching black movies that and I like the promotional aspects.
We black folk ain't doing custodian work.
No.
It's gonna smell good in there. It's gonna smell like cocoa butter. It's gonna be, and then the promotion aspect, because we're communal. The African diaspora is very communal culture.
We take care of each other.
And you know, it's like a market, and $8. You had me at $8 for the movie, like with the food included.
You can set your own prices. You can kind of work that out in ways that work for you. But so this came up for me because I was looking. We all do this. I was looking at like Zillow and places like that. I was like, oh, what's for sale right now?
Right.
And I saw a movie theater was for sale, and I was like, if I could buy a movie theater,
I'm just saying.
I could do whatever I want.
I'm just saying, man.
You know, so like that idea started to come about.
Small indie.
That was back in like 2017.
Yeah, it never left me, bro. It never left me.
It's with you for so long. It's meant to be.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
That's gonna be our business venture when we get there. We're gonna throw a daycare in there too, because you know the kids.
I mean, yes, why not? Yes.
Why not make it like our culture actually is?
Yes.
Very communal.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like if you work at this theater, there's daycare for your kids. You ain't gotta pay for that.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you came here with a baby, leave that baby in.
And go watch your movie.
And don't be making no babies in the theater.
Yeah, we gonna make some security there now.
Don't get
I'm
caught.
trying to hear no noises.
No, don't be doing it.
Don't-
This is the Christian-
It's
Wow.
on the board.
Don't be doing it.
It's-
Don't get caught. Y'all.
It's on the board.
They're gonna kick me off the board.
Like, see,
They're gonna kick me off the board.
can't have it. You
When we
can't.
talk about male Gemini versus
Like,
said not to
we
do
click. We click until.
I cannot. We had so much fun with you today, Joel, and we are so honored that you took out time to come and speak with us about your work, being a historical, a military intelligence historian,
That's
your
a
reenactment of Frederick Douglas, your work on PBS, and just your work in general of educating the community. We are so honored and thankful that you came here today.
Absolutely.
I really think that our viewers as well has gleaned some information, some gold nuggets from you.
Mhm.
If you have any place that you would like our viewers to like go follow, like, subscribe, or promote, any donations, anything like that, you can let them know.
Yeah. So I got to do my PBS pitch now for viewers like me and you. No. So yeah, my the content I'd say I'm most known for is Rouge History. It's on PBS Digital Studios, so go check that out. As far as the Emmy series, City of Hope, I don't think it's out yet to the public, but when it is, I'll definitely let y'all know about it.
For
So y'all
sure.
can check that out too.
Yep.
Let you know.
I'm not a social media person, so if you find me, you find me. If you see me, you see me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, anybody, if you want to reach out to me, if you can find a way to reach out to me, I'd be undercover. But if you can find a way to reach out to me, definitely reach out to me. Or if you want to reach out to BlackVomit and get them to get in touch with me, we can do that too.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
So, and I definitely appreciate this. I appreciate being able to be in this space with y'all and have this communal conversation with y'all.
Absolutely.
It's special.
Yeah.
So,
And it was fun.
Indeed. Full
Yeah.
circle.
Absolutely.
Full circle moment, man. Any last remarks or anything you want people to take from you, going like your lasting legacy? If this is your last interview, what would be something you want people to know about you that they might already know or they should know? Or
Man, you got me deep there.
Yeah.
I mean, the message that I always try to put out to people is like, if you're thinking about something, do it.
Mhm.
You know, so like if you have an idea and you're like, I don't know if I'm good enough to pull that off, you are. I don't know if I'm like, you know, capable of making this happen. I don't know if I can get in touch with the people that I need to get in touch with to make this happen. You can't.
Mhm.
You just gotta, like, some of the stuff that happened to me, I just sent somebody an email and I wasn't supposed to send an email to. So,
Rogue
so I
history.
didn't think I was gonna get, like, there was, when I was just another story.
Mhm.
You remember when I was coaching football?
Yeah.
I was coaching high school football when me and Josh were together at Fayetteville State. And so one summer I was trying to be a better coach.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I'm gonna just write letters to coaches and see what happens. I have a letter right now from Bill Belichick sitting in my, like, it's like in a safe place in my
Yes.
house, because he took the time to write
He
me back
did.
and be like, hey, thanks for writing me, like, personalized letter, not just like, thanks for
Right.
reaching out
Generic.
to the Patriots. Like, like he was actually like, hey.
The
For the
Thank
non-sports people, what
Okay.
sports and what
So
team?
Bill Belichick is the greatest NFL football coach of all time.
There it is.
Wow, that's amazing.
Some of y'all gonna say some things. Okay. He's the greatest coach of all time.
Everybody got a
There's
pass.
controversy.
He's the
He was
greatest
Tom
coach.
Brady's coach.
He coached Tom Brady. If that helps y'all understand. He's the greatest football coach of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban's in that conversation, but Nick
Mhm.
Saban used to work for Bill Belichick.
Just saying.
So there you go. But I wrote Bill Belichick a letter, mailed him a letter, and he wrote me back. And so I'm like, if I can talk to him
Come on.
and get a letter back, you can talk to whoever it is you're trying to talk to and get a letter back, including Ryan Coogler.
Mhm.
I haven't dropped that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just saying.
So shoot your shot is my message.
Mhm.
Not just in relationships, but like in everything that you want to do. Because if you don't, you never know Like you'll never get the opportunity if you don't try. So
Love it.
The big thing for me is that I like try. When there's an opportunity to do something, I take the chance when there's an opportunity to take the chance. And so that's worked out for me. It doesn't work out every time,
of course,
but it's worked out a lot of
most of the time.
Yeah. So that's my big thing, is like to do that, and then to be confident once that opportunity comes that you can pull it off. Because if you couldn't pull it off, you wouldn't be there. They wouldn't have called you in if you couldn't do it. So
give him a word, Joe.
What I wanted.
That's how I roll with it, man.
Yes, the perfect person to tell you.
Yeah. Well, what did I say earlier? Through a window or open door?
Exactly.
For sure. Take that, you guys. Vomniacs, take that and go run with it. You got an idea? Go run with it. Well, Vomniacs, this has been a very special episode with BlackVomit and Joe Cook 'em Up. I'm sorry, I tried to think of a new one. I couldn't. If you guys like this video and want to see more content like this, please give us a like and subscribe below. Leave us a comment. Tell us how you was feeling this and how you was feeling Joel. Also, go and support him and watch PBS. They are still out here, even though some people like me thought they wasn't. They are still out here.
Still here, baby.
Still grinding.
Yep, still grinding. And we will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Stay ill, you guys.
Stay ill, black.